Hi, and welcome to the course. My name's Richard Day, and I'll be the instructor this semester. And one of the things we do is try to provide a little bit of opportunity for students to get to know the professors that they'll be working with. And so this is my little effort to do that. I am an associate professor of educational foundations here at Eastern, and I came here in 2007 following 31 years in public education as a principal and as a teacher. So I've got kind of a broad background, and that's well suited for the course that we'll be working with this year. Here's my dad's family. I think of them as the Clampetts. I don't know if you're familiar with the Beverly Hillbillies, but my grandfather is pictured there at the back row on the left at the age of 14. He grew up in New Tazewell, Tennessee, which is just across the border from eastern Kentucky. And at that age, he jumped on a train and went to Knoxville looking for work. And he actually found work painting railroad cars that eventually took him to northern Kentucky, where I grew up. I was a pretty typical kid, born in the middle of the last century. Got a big round balloon looking head as a baby. My father served a couple of terms in the House of Representatives here in Kentucky. I've got an older brother, a younger sister, and I grew up in a small town called Ludlow, right up on the river. I graduated from Ludlow High School in 1969. It was a small school, which meant that kids had a lot of opportunities to do things. They always needed somebody on the team, and there were a lot of people asking you to participate in things, and it made for a nice high school experience for me. My graduating class had 54 people in it. I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Kentucky. I was pretty active on campus. I was arguably too active on campus. I would have done well to study a little bit more. But I was up there at a very turbulent time on campus in May of 1970 when some student rioting broke out and the ROTC building was burned. This was at the height of the Vietnam War when a lot of student unrest was happening nationwide, just following the Kent State assassinations. I began as a teacher at R.C. Hinsdale School in Kenton County, back in northern Kentucky. That picture is Old Movies Day. We were always looking for a way to engage kids in whatever we were studying, and so we would allow them to dress up from time to time. I'm pictured there on the left, and I have no clue what I was dressed as, but you see a lot of Charlie Chaplins in the crowd. I next became a principal in Kenton County at Ryland Heights Elementary, kind of on the eastern side of Kenton County. I served there for about 5 years, and then moved to Lexington in the middle of the 1980s. And my first appointment there was as principal of the Meadowthorpe Elementary School, kind of on the northwest side of town. And then after 3 years, I moved to Cassidy Elementary in Chevy Chase, closer to the UK campus. And I spent about 15 years at that upscale suburban school that also served about a third of our population were kids who were bused in from federal housing in an area called Bluegrass Aspendale. So we had a large achievement gap at our school. I'd served in a number of positions. Those are listed there. About the time I was starting to retire, I got into some higher education work. Did some school leadership practicums at UK and also taught at Georgetown College for a few years before settling here at Eastern. Along the way, I picked up a few nice honors that I'm proud of, and most of these are related to work in the schools. And so as schools got recognized, a lot of that usually got attributed to the principals. Somewhere around 2003, I started gaining some recognition for my academic work as I started to transition from a school principal to a college professor. I've really enjoyed my time here at Eastern and have kind of risen through the ranks a bit. I'm currently serving as chair of the EKU Faculty Senate, and that has placed me on a number of university-wide committees, and also allows me to carry the university mace at graduation and other events like President Benson's recent inauguration. So it's a little ceremonial too around the edges. But all in all, I've always thought of myself as just an average guy. I grew up in the middle of the last century, in the middle of the country. I was a middle child, kind of middle everything. And I started working with young kids because, first of all, I liked them. And secondly, I thought I could be successful in the field of education. And I decided to work with upper elementary age children mostly. Fourth grade through seventh grade is what I taught. And I liked the age group because they were smart enough that you could carry on a conversation with them, but yet they were still young enough to be excited by a bug in a cup. And I found that very rewarding. I am a typical kind of a family guy. We've got a blended family like a lot of American families these years. Two of my kids, two of her kids, and my second wife and I have been married for about 20 years now. And I love this photograph of the two of us, that sort of defiant opposition. We backed different mayoral candidates one year and decided to do his and hers signs. And the Herald Leader caught wind of it and did a little photo shoot of us. And these are my top advisors. These are my kids and grandkids. And the newest one there, bottom center, was just born in the very end of 2014, and they give me a lot of joy in my life. Well, that's who you're going to be working with this semester. My contact information is there, and you'll see it elsewhere on the site. If there's anything that I can do to help out during the semester, I hope you won't hesitate to ask, and I look forward to working with you all.